Hey there, how's it going? It's Kevin. Welcome back. So, this is week one of Project 52. Officially week one at this point. I'm just going to say that it's starting today. And the recap, the whole purpose of Project 52 is in 52 weeks, I want to be able to write, score, and record and produce an album. That's just a personal goal of mine. Is to release an album. And that album could be like an EP, right? It could be four songs, but I just needed to kind of start somewhere, and so that's what I'm doing with this. And so this is week one, and I think I have kind of a lot of ideas of how I want to do things. I think the biggest thing for me to start off with is just trying to figure out where to start, because there's a lot. There's writing the songs, there's writing the lyrics, there's writing different parts, then there's recording it, putting it all together, producing it, things like that. I feel like releasing it, whether it's on Spotify or here on YouTube, whatever, it should not be as hard as I think. I think the hardest part is going to be in just the creation of the music. And so I'm just going to kind of start. And so the first thing is just starting with the songs themselves, right? The music themselves. Starting with the music itself. And then kind of adding lyrics to that, right? What kind of music do I want to go about? So I think I'm just going to talk about my inspirations, my influences, the things that influence me. I think that's really what I'm going to talk about first. I'm also not going to edit any of this, because I think for me, it's important to see that I'm a real person and that I'm not doing this to become a big YouTuber. I probably will post parts of my life, not just the music stuff, but I'll have other parts of my life. But I don't consider myself right now like a YouTuber or somebody that's doing this for clout. So I'm not really as worried about how perfect my talking is, because I'm just a guy talking in front of a camera. I'm not a professional. I don't have a teleprompter here reading off all my lines. So yeah, I'm not going to edit this. If I flub up or mess up, I don't really care. But yeah, I think some of my influences that I kind of want to bring into my music, I definitely say that I'm deeply influenced by like a lot of pop punk music, a lot of emo music. It's something that I grew up with as a kid. You have like your Blink-182, your Sum 41, your My Chemical Romance. That's a broad swath right there. Reliant K. So there's kind of like some of that pop punk, right? So some of that pop in there as well. Good Charlotte. Kind of artists like that. I think recently I've discovered, and then there's lots of like British bands, right? Like The Cure and stuff like that. The Ramones, the Dead Kennedys, which is kind of more like British and punk. So I think those have really influenced me as well. I'm also really influenced by like kind of the bands of the 70s and 80s. Earth, Wind and Fire. I think those are really fun kind of bands. The Eagles, right? A lot of these guys these songs that were very easy, like the chords are very easy, very simply written, but they're written with emotion, they're conveyed with emotion. And so I think that's something that's influenced me. Like just a lot of creators, the Plain White T's, the Lumineers, Mumford and Sons, basically any hipster band from the early 2000s, definitely has influenced me. Green Day. So yeah, those are some of my influences. Those are things I want to bring into music, into the music that I produce. I don't think I really have a really strong connection with like blues or country or folk music. I do love a good, wagon wheel, or some On the Road Again from Willie Nelson. Like those are really fun, but they're really fun because they're just kind of like songs that I can play really easily, and that they're really like crowd pleasers. I think a lot of the times I've played in the past, it's just been playing with family, with friends, and just kind of playing songs that we all enjoy to sing along to. Because actually, I primarily consider myself a singer, not a guitarist, not an instrumentalist. I guess my voice is an instrument. And so when I was younger, I liked singing, but I felt really awkward as a kid, just like singing on my own. And so I was like, I need to find some way to like make it less weird and people don't notice or pay attention to my singing. And so I picked up guitar. I have people in my family who play instruments, including the guitar. My dad plays the guitar. And so I started playing the guitar to kind of maybe mask my voice, really to enhance it, but just because I was a little self-conscious about just singing a song without an accompaniment. And so, yeah, I definitely want to bring in some of that. Like I think of like, I don't know, Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, amazing vocalist, just incredible range. I don't think I have that range. I think I'm definitely more of a lower bass, if anything. But yeah, like I'll figure it out, as I create the music. And yeah, I think one of the cool things is, as I start to plot out songs, we'll be also figuring out the different instrumental pieces, right? I'm not a drummer, so figuring out a drum track or finding somebody who plays drums will be great. I want to throw a quick shout out here to a YouTube channel called Sugar Pill Productions. I think the guy's name is Aaron, but really great. And I just want to say a thanks to him for just creating content where he is teaching people about some of the tips and tricks of different bands. And it's not like I'm using his content. I'm using the fact that he is producing things as inspiration to try and produce my own music. So I really want to say thank you to him specifically, because I'm going to try to apply some of the principles that he teaches in his videos there. But yeah, other than that, I think just kind of, figuring, just letting you guys know what my setup is. So I have my guitar here, whatever this is, like a Squier or something. There we go. So probably the cheapest guitar that you can ever own in your life, but it's a start. I have an amp, and I have a cool little loop pedal here, which I am using to write different parts, So starting with a bass melody and then building off of that is kind of how I'm writing music at this point. And this is really a primary tool I have. I think I'm looking into some music writing software, but that's really to flesh out more of the parts that aren't guitar, right? Like a bass or a synth or drums. And that will come, I feel, much later as I learn the software and then start playing around with it. And I will show you guys that when it happens. But yeah, I think I just wanted to kind of talk about those influences, because those are kind of people that I want to sound like. I don't necessarily want to, play their songs, but I want to sound like them, because I like their sound and it has a lot of energy and emotion, and you can really do a lot of different things with it. And one thing I love about artists, Mumford and Sons is a great example of this, is that you don't have to stay locked into one genre, right? Like artists are allowed to evolve and grow, and they don't have to stay playing the same sound of the same music. And so I think there's a lot of freedom in that. Would I like to produce an album that sounds pretty pop punk or Midwest emo? In my head, I would, right? That's where I am right now. But what it will actually look like may be different. Because as I create, I'm sure that things are going to change and it'll speak to me in different ways. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video to hold myself accountable that I am doing this, to put it out on the internet so that, you know, if anyone sees this and anyone even gives a care, which maybe no one will, that's fine. But I care because I will look pretty dumb if this is the last video that I post on this channel. It's just me talking about stuff and then never actually following up on it. So this is a video to remind me to follow up on the things I'm talking about in this video. And for anyone watching, I hope that you are inspired to pursue the things that you're passionate about, whatever that is. I encourage you to find someone who knows how to do it well, to study it, whether it's on YouTube or finding someone in person, and pursue it. Because life is worth living, and you either need to do something worth writing about or write something worth reading. Quote from Benjamin Franklin. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.